Hi, thanks for joining me for episode number 4 in Pretty Packaging. This episode is going to build off of Pretty Packaging number 3, where I showed you how to make a paper bag using nothing but scissors and a piece of paper that coordinated with your project. But today I have a SVG for you that you can use with your digital die cutting machine, be it a Cricut, a Silhouette, or whatever machine you're using. I'm going to show you how to use it with the Cricut Explore. And you can create these fun bags. The fun thing about this is that you have endless possibilities of materials that you can use. I used a grocery bag. I used wax paper from my kitchen. I used parchment paper from my kitchen. I used vellum. I used craft mailing paper and wrapping paper in this video. So there's just an endless possibility and fun ways to think outside of the box when it comes to packaging. In the next episode, we're going to take this even further, but I wanted to get you this base bag. Don't forget to grab your SVG. It's in the description below the video. And I'm going to walk you through how to put this together in Design Space. Okay, this is a super simple project. We're going to go into Design Space and click on Upload. Upload image. And here you can either click and browse to navigate to where you saved the SVG file that I have provided for you, or if you're like me and you like to drag and drop, you can drag and drop it. Now I've provided two different SVGs for you. There's one that's called a Paper Bag Cut Score, and there's one that's called Cricut Score Paper Bag or Bag. The pink one is the one that you will use if you're going to use the scoring tool with the Cricut. The Cricut scores a little bit differently than other digital die cutting machines, so I've made this one specifically for scoring with the Cricut tool. Now, if you don't have the Cricut scoring tool, or you're using a Silhouette Cameo, or you're using a, any of the other Zing, K&K Cutter, any of the other digital die cutting machines, Brother Scan and Cut, you want to use this yellow one. It has score lines that will cut. But I'm going to use the Cricut score tool, and you're going to do it the exact same way. So you're just going to drag and drop. Let me make my screen bigger again. You can tag it here. I'm going to call this paper bag sack score line. And I think I'm going to put my initials so I'll remember that this is my own personal file, and I'm going to click save. And it's right here for you. You're going to click on it and click insert images. Okay, now the beauty of this bag is that you can resize this for as big or as little as you can cut on your digital die cutting machine. And I have a way that I like to size it. I will just say I'm going to put a card in this. I will just grab a shape, grab a square, and we'll just make the square the size of my card, and I'm just making something up. So say my card is 5 by 4. That's close enough. So all I would do is make a square that size. Let's rotate it, and it just needs to fit within this square right here. If it fits within there, it's going to fit inside the bag. So that would be perfect. Okay, you'll see that I've provided some instructions here for you. And in order to follow these directions, the first thing we need to do is select this bag and ungroup it. Let's ungroup it so that we can do all these steps that we need to do. So it says select the score lines and set to score. So you're going to go over here, and these are the score lines. You're going to click on the scissors and click score. You can see that just changed that to a dashed line. It's going to score it with your Cricut scoring tool. Again, if you don't have the Cricut scoring tool, use the other SVG and it will cut these dashed lines. The next thing it says is select the pink layer and the score lines and click attach. So go over to your layers panel, select the score line, hold your shift key and select the pink layer and click attach. And it just moved our directions right there. But the last thing it says is turn off this layer before cutting. So you're just going to click on the eye and turn that off so that you're not cutting those instructions. And that's all there is to it. You're going to click make it. It's going to put this on your mat. You can rearrange it here if you want. Nothing else that you need to do. You're going to click continue and select your Cricut device. Now I will tell you, when I cut the wrapping paper, when I cut the wax paper, when I cut vellum, when I cut parchment paper, I just set my Cricut right on the paper setting, not cardstock, the paper setting. If you look in the custom materials, you do have a custom material for vellum, and I believe I saw wrapping paper. So there's the vellum and wrapping paper. So make sure you check out your custom settings or adjust your machine accordingly to the materials that you're using, and you shouldn't have any problems. So like I said, this makes some really fun packaging. This is just a simple card that I made for someone. And instead of just sticking it in a plain white envelope, look how much cuter it is inside this fun bag that I made out of wax paper from my kitchen. So I just think it's just a really fun way. And if you look around, I bet you'll come up with all kinds of different papers and items that you can use for your packaging. Here is another one. This one I made out of parchment paper. It looks very similar to the wax paper. It's just not quite as clear. You can still see the project through it and has a little bit different feeling. If you've used parchment paper, you know what I'm talking about. This was made out of some Maggie Holmes vellum paper that came in a paper pad that I've had laying around. And look how cute that is. It's super, super cute. And if you just put a little bow or something around that, it's going to add a lot to it. This one is made out of some craft mailing paper I got at the Dollar Tree a long time ago, but you could use the plain craft paper. I just didn't have any handy. And this is simple wrapping paper. And I thought that turned out really fun. And this one I didn't put together because I wanted you to see this is actually a grocery bag from Whole Foods. And I think it would be even really cute to use the Whole Foods side. How fun would that be? We turned it inside out, but I purposely didn't put this together so that you could see I actually pulled a grocery sack out and cut that on my Cricut. Now, when you're cutting the thinner papers like vellum, the wax paper, you're going to set your Cricut on the paper setting or even the notch below the paper setting. You want to keep that needle or the blade up high. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to grab your SVG. We will be building on this idea in a future video, so you'll want to have that file. And until next time, I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.